Alright, so this is kind of a rant. It is a rant. And it came about because I was listening to this interview with Elon Musk, and, this isn't an endorsement or defamation of him. I have no care for him either way. But the interview I was listening to, the person interviewing would not shut the fuck up. Like, okay, what he's saying might be incorrect, but just let him talk. Let him talk. You're interviewing him to let him talk, not for anyone to hear what you have to say. We're listening to the interview to hear what Elon has to say, not you stroking your own ego. It's so fucking ridiculous. And this whole thought started, a week or two ago. I was re-listening to this interview with Boyd Rice on, I forget the podcast, but, again, say what you will, I really don't care what you think of Boyd Rice, and don't really have any care either way what people think of him. But it's like, for fuck's sake, let the person talk. Let the person talk. I don't want to hear you, the host, try and sound smart. I want to hear the person you're interviewing talk. I don't want your ego boost. It's annoying. I go to the interview. I listen to the podcast because I want to hear the person you have on. I don't go to the podcast because you're talking. If I wanted to hear you talk, I'd listen to a podcast that's just you talking. I'm not listening to a podcast to hear anyone else talk but the person that the subject matter is about. It's like every interview I've ever done has been, the filler of them is the other people talking, because guess what? I want to hear them talk. The whole point of interviewing them is to hear them talk. And I'm repeating myself so much here because it's so fucking simple, but no one fucking understands that. It was the same thing, I forget who did it, but they interviewed RFK Jr. a while ago. And, the host obviously very much was not happy with what he said because it didn't fit their narrative. And so they said some things, but that woman, actually, I do have to give her credit, kept her mouth shut for most of it. She kind of pried, but if you want to do what the person in the Elon Musk interview did, that's fine if it's an interrogation. It's not an interrogation though, it's an interview. If he says something incorrect, wait till he burns himself out on what he's talking about, then correct him. You don't just interrupt him. It's so fucking annoying. And it's like, it gets nothing. There's no information to be gained from just interrupting the person talking. You're getting less information. You're getting less of an interview and more of a, I'm right and the person that I'm supposed to be interviewing is wrong. If they're wrong, let them be wrong. Just after you're done interviewing them, go through and provide evidence to why they were wrong. Go, in the description, link to how he's wrong, give all the sources as to why he's wrong, And then, with the Boyd Rice interview, I don't want to hear what you have to say. I just want to hear him talk, he has so many interesting stories. It's not even funny. You can go to, just listen to any interview he did except for this one. It's very interesting, and that's all I have to say.